retreat, but I'm sorry I never retreated. I set the bar so high that you might as well leave it. I'm going undefeated. I've broken the system, had to breach it. That's mission impossible, mission completed. Salute when you see me. I got the heart of a guardian, a genie. I want you to love me, I want you to need me. When I this face is feedy. I gotta get back to the hood. I remember when I was the needy. Clean me up, squeaky. She fell in love deeply.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Play action for Davis. Now Ryan eluding the pressure right. And incomplete to open things up.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. This one left side, caught by Patterson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now this defense for the Ravens, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air. And they
looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 25.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as you're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Ryan. He'll buy some time right. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A 1st down carry for Davis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Ravens 3, Falcons nothing.
Now Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Ryan. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Give him 9 yards on the carry there. A good run. And now 2nd and goal.
Davis again.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mike Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort.
And now look at this. Big gain, but fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down now, it's Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first and 10, it's Ryan. That's the tight end Hurst with it. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. To throw is Ryan. He's got it, complete, Mike Davis. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Adafe Owe gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now it's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Patterson. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. Now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise.
but there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson escaping the pressure right. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the ballgame here in the final minute of the 1st half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
Steps away to his left. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Patterson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
On the return, Devin Duvernay.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. Flushed out right.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
But it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Well, the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Ravens have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Ryan's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 28.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
2nd down and goal. Ryan, touchdown Falcons.
Kyle Pitts,
his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
On the return is Duvernay. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the 3rd quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back now in Baltimore. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson.
They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now it's Patterson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Adafe Oweh able to record his 5th sack of the season. And when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't...
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Now Jackson on 1st down. Dobbins with it. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Jackson. Connecting with Andrews.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
Jackson to throw. And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
46 yards. And the Ravens have broken the tie. Tucker with the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now it's Patterson.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Ryan to throw.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Picked off by Gary and Conley. There he goes, left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Now it's Patterson. And able to get this out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle down.
Still have hope.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they'll line up for the onside kick. 18 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half.